Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Peterson. Thank you all for watching this presentation I'm going to be doing. The topic I chose for our project was about babies, and more specifically about babies and trust, building secure foundations. As a new father of a little girl, I've become increasingly more aware of how important a trust in my baby's development is. And in this presentation, we will explore emotional and cognitive growth and how it connects to my field of forensic science, which is seems a little weird for a topic about babies to connect to forensic science, but I will explain it more when we get there. But let's get this started. When the slide wants to switch. There we go. All right, and all the pictures in this presentation are going to be of my little baby girl. Her name is Ellie. She's right there holding my little pinky. Just want to point out the star of the show here. But what is trust? Trust is not just an abstract concept. It is found a foundation to how we relate to others and the world. For babies, trust begins with the caregivers, the parents, whoever's taking care of them primarily. And when their needs are met consistently and with warmth, trust starts to form for them. Sudi emphasizes the importance of this consistent care, which makes babies feel very secure. And without this early trust, emotional and cognitive development can be severely impacted. The importance of trust in early development. Research shows that trust is essential for brain development. Babies who develop trust in their caregivers are better equipped to regulate their emotion, solve problems, and explore the world going forward in their developing years. As noted by the NAEYC, secure caregiving environments provide the security and stimulation that babies' brains require to grow, fostering not only emotional resilience but also cognitive development as well. All right, the role of early caregivers. Caregivers have an incredibly important role in building trust. When caregivers are responsive, whether it's soothing a cry or meeting hunger needs, babies learn to trust that their needs will be met. As Sudi explains, trust begins with the caregivers, and this foundation that the caregivers provide forms the basis of all their future relationships, making caregivers the first and most influential teachers of trust. And then going into how trust is built in babies. Trust is built in everyday interactions. Responsive caregiving, like I said before, attending a baby's cry or providing comfort is key for this baby's development. Predictable routines like regular feedings, bedtimes, and all play a role in that trust building for the baby. The ability to tune into a baby's emotional needs helps caregivers provide the necessary comfort and validation for that baby. And these practices all contribute to a secure environment where trust can flourish. All right, attachment and trust. Trust and attachment are closely linked. Secure attachment occurs when caregivers consistently meet a baby's needs, leading to confidence in relationships for this baby. In contrast, insecure attachment can occur when a baby is inconsistent when experiencing this care, leading to fear or mistrust. Bowlby explains that attachment is the system that organizes a child's experience of relationships, which deeply influences how they view and interact with the world. And although, a lot of the time it may be confusing how this can affect a baby, as, most of us don't have a large memory of our younger days, it still does have an impact as your brain is still developing regardless of our memory of it. And so all this stuff with caregivers, making sure that they're consistently giving them comfort, giving them trust, it does aid to the benefit of the baby growing older. And obviously this still needs to continue. Caregivers need to put the effort in to give this trust for the developing baby, but it all starts right when the baby comes right out of that womb, just implementing these important ideas right away. But going into the next one, trust and emotional regulation. Trust plays a critical role in how babies learn to regulate their emotions. When babies feel safe and trust their caregivers, they are better able to handle stress and emotional challenges. Sudi actually argues that trust is the foundation of emotional regulation, which is essential for building healthy relationships and coping mechanisms throughout their entire lives going forward. We got trust and cognitive development. Trust is not an emotional experience. It is also has a very profound impact on cognitive development. Babies who feel secure are more willing to explore and learn about their environment. They are more likely to engage in the world around them, developing critical problem-solving skills, which obviously aids them going into the future, and it just has a positive impact on their brain development early on. The power of touch. Touch is a powerful way that caregivers can communicate trust to the babies. These babies rely on physical touch from caregivers to make them feel secure, whether it's holding, cuddling, gently caressing, all of that. This physical connection not only promotes emotional bonding, but also reduces stress for the baby. And then connecting this to forensic science, as someone who is, I'm going for a degree in biology, but as someone who wants to eventually use that degree for work in forensic science, I was interested in how early emotional experiences like attachment and trust influence adult behavior, like we've been talking about, how much of these early development years end up leading to problems with babies in the future, which can, maybe bring them to go towards negative behaviors and commit crime, which is more on the psychology aspect of forensic science, but is still interesting, as I am interested in not just the biology-based part of forensic science, but the whole spectrum. All right, and then trust beyond the family. Trust isn't confined just to the family. As babies grow, they develop relationships with other people, teachers, childcare providers, etc. And it's important that these caregivers also provide the same nurturing care. Obviously, the relationships are different, but the child still needs to feel that warmth and care coming from them to make sure they're still being developed in a proper manner. And the Administration for Children and Families emphasizes that relationship-based practices in child care settings are key to ensuring that trust continues to grow outside of the home. Some challenges to building trust. Not all babies have the benefit of secure, consistent caregiving, and this inconsistency, often seen in environments with high stress or lack of resources, can severely hinder a baby's ability to develop trust. And without this constant care, babies may struggle with emotional regulation, social relationships and interactions, and cognitive development. And they can have long-lasting effects on the baby if intervention is not made. All right, and then to the next part, practical tips for caregivers. Caregivers can help build trust by being responsive and providing consistent care like we've been talking about, responding to baby cues like crying, hunger, need for comfort, and just provide a predictable manner, regular nap times, regular meal times, showing affection, empathy through touch, eye contact, calming voice. This is going to help the baby feel secure, supported, and it's going to help them so much when they develop into older children and into eventually adulthood. And basically to conclude, trust is essential for babies, their emotional and cognitive growth. It shapes how they interact with the world, form relationships, and navigate complex social environments. So if you are in a case where you are going to be taking care of a child, just keep in mind how important it is that you are on top of that and making sure you are able to provide them that warmth and security so they can properly develop and have an easier time going forward in the years. And these are my references, what I used. I went a little over the time that we were supposed to do for this presentation, but I appreciate you guys staying here and listening to me. I hope you guys learned something from this. Baby development's a lot more complex than what a lot of people believe. So I hope you learned something about that. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great break.